Welcome back to Mount Celeste. I'm Dear Darling, and we'll face the inner demons and reach a summit together as I restart my recording because the first time my microphone wasn't on. What a fool I was. Okay, what are we doing in this level? I don't remember what we're doing. Let's just send it, you know. What are we doing here? This is where you rely on beginner's luck to pull you through, and you'll just be like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna perfectly do this in an entire level first try, as it slowly comes back to me. Actually, it's not even been that long since I've recorded Celeste, or has it been? No, it's been like 5 days or something, now I think about it. So, I mean, normally it's quite a while between episodes. But normally I sort of like a vague memory of kind of the obstacles we're facing. I actually legitimately don't remember any of this. So the fact I'm even performing slightly is miraculous in itself. But I'm sure somewhere tucked away in that subconscious mind of yours, or mine, well, I mean maybe yours as well, but there is a glimmer of information of exactly what is going on here. Oh my word, what the heck was that? Saved. So yeah, we're just gonna continue just missing exactly what we're aiming for. We're going to continue our ascent up the seaside mountain. Haha, you know, because like it's seaside, but it sounds like the beach seaside. That's all, you get me? You follow? Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to roaring start if you can tell already. I should probably look ahead so I can actually record what we're meant to do past certain points, because I legitimately don't remember stuff. I don't know why so much of this has gone from my memory. So we dash here. Oh, I remember this part. I died on this part a lot, I feel like. I'm gonna jump. Oh, weird. And you go dash, wall kick, dash, fall down, jump back up, dash. No, surely you don't jump back up. Surely you go under, you land, dash. Oh, hold on a minute. Maybe you do go back over. I don't actually know what you do here. You jump up and maybe you can sort of swing left, swing right. Dash left, dash right. I don't know if that will take you over. I think it will just, but I'm not really sure. We don't really have to be all too concerned about that yet, because that's quite far off and this is quite a long task ahead of us, I suppose. But if we've done farewell, we can do this, probably. The headphone wire is in the way. Get it out of the way. Get this out of here. You need no distractions. You need total and utter focus when you play Celeste, because that's the only way to play, is just, you know, in a sensory deprivation tank. I don't know where I was going with this. Devoid of any sort of external complications, distractions, just like that train going by outside. So I'm going to close my window so you don't have to hear that, or maybe you can't hear it in the first place, I don't know. Might just be a low murmur or drone or whatever. Why do we have so many onomatopoeias for vehicles which just like sound so human, I suppose? I remember now, it's coming back to me that jumping had very weird timing to it. Because, you know, you got a drone, a roar, a screech, purr. I'm trying to think of other things. Maybe that's it. You know, obviously the answer is because, you know, to draw a comparison to human speech makes it much more understandable. Are you kidding me? What a weird way to die. Dumb ways to die. You remember old... Well, maybe you don't, because I think it was just a UK thing, but it was this old, like, London Underground or something advert to basically tell you to follow the rules and the safety guidelines when you're riding the London Underground, or, well, any train, I suppose. And it was a whole viral hit singing about, in a very overly cheerful and saccharine way, about dumb ways to die. Can I remember the lyrics? Because that is something I'm known for. I need to remember how it starts, but for me to remember lyrics. I remember a bridge. Dress up like a moose during hunting season. No, that's not the start of the bridge. That's like the end of a bridge. And then at the end they do all the like train-based dumb deaths you could do, like drive around the boom at a level crossing. Something on that platform. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly the dumbest ways to die. Okay, I'm gonna stop that now because my voice is surprisingly dead, it feels like. I just realised as we've been talking here for this past 5 minutes or so, I'm like, my voice sounds weird. And you know what? That's just something you got to deal with. It's a byproduct of waking up early this morning because I had some blood tests to do. They're very uneventful. I don't know, check out today's Animal Crossing video. Well, probably talk about it. What day is that going to be? I don't know. Try literally 1 month ago. That's how far in advance we're recording. Today's 13th of September. When you're watching this is probably like, let me guess, 16th of October or something. So that's quite how far in advance these videos are, and it's mainly just because I finished recording Bugsnax ages ago, and I was just waiting for Life is Strange True Colours to be released so I could actually record that for that series. So I only had like 2 series to build up a backlog of, which means that both Celeste and Metallic Principle. Oh yeah, that's much better. Oh, I forgot to dash. That's a much better way. Just don't bounce and double dash upwards. So I'm just building up an incredibly long backlog in these video games instead of managing it over 3. And you know, some days I just do a lot of not do a lot of recording, but you know, there's more days when there not been days where I'm just like, oh, we'll record a couple of episodes of this. So you know, the backlog's been building up. I think anything longer than a month of a backlog is probably a bit too much, but we'll just have to see. Honestly, I like having a month backlog because I'm just like, you know, some days I just like not feeling up for it, or like, you know, I don't have time today to record any videos, and the fact that I don't have a threat of being like, oh, I can't do this too often, otherwise we'll run out of videos, then, you know, it's always reassuring. But I always talk about this, so let's swiftly move on from it and go back to our onomatopoeia topic. I remember, for some reason, back in, what year were we in? Year 5? Year 5 or 4? Because it was with this primary school teacher I remember, and she taught us for year 4 and year 5, half and half between with another teacher. I don't know why it worked out like that. I guess she was part-time. Who knows? How was she as a teacher? She was alright. You know, she sometimes like became very angry, like just like flipped off a handle or whatever. But on the whole, apart from that, she was fine, I think. Her good times were good, and her bad times were kind of scary in some aspects, but, you know, on the whole, she had a good heart, I think, probably. I don't know, maybe, perhaps I'm not the best judge of character when I'm, like, 9 or something. Yeah, we had this huge quiz. I can't remember why. It took up, like, this entire lesson. I don't even know what subject it was for. I guess it must have been for English, to be, like, adjectives or something, but we had a quiz or something, and, what it basically was is she played like out 100 different sound effects, and we had to like write down what the conventionally used way to like describe the sound effects would be. So there'd be like a goat going like meh, and we'd put down like a bleat or something, or bleating, and etc etc. And for some reason this is the only sound effect I actually remember from, I guess it's not really a quiz, it's more like a test, except I wasn't particularly like examined. It was meant to be more of a teaching experience, I suppose, if anything. I feel like I'm dying a lot on this section. But there's one part I remember is that there was like an engine going like, and then I can't remember what she said exactly, but it basically was a teaching moment where she was just like, oh, it's called like the drone of an engine. Where someone else answered a question, I can't remember exactly. Actually, I think I do remember who, but I'm obviously not going to say their name. The answer to that question, and then like later on, you know, another car noise came along, and it was like on a Formula 1 racetrack or something. And this is the only part I remember, probably because it's like one of the questions I answered, where everyone put down that was a drone of an engine, because that's what we were literally just taught, I suppose, was a car sound. And then she was like, nah, that one's probably not going to be called a drone of the engine. Do you know any other words? And I was like, is it the roar of an engine? And the engine roaring? And she was like, yes, dear. Well, she said my name, but my name's not dear, unsurprisingly. But that is, in fact, the roar of an engine. And that has, for some reason, stayed in my memory. Perhaps because my brain likes to use it as maybe like a mini dopamine hit. It's like, oh, remember that time in year 4 when you answered one question correctly? No, I don't know. It just, I suppose it stuck out for me because it was something I had to delve within my own knowledge banks for it rather than just learn it from someone else. Which you might say is probably not the best way to remember things. You probably want to remember things that other people have taught you, not other things that you already know. But I don't know where that came from. Honestly, it was quite a fun lesson. Just like trying to come up with sounds or onomatopoeias. Whenever you had to like come up with words, probably some of the more fun lessons back in primary school. Like I remember one of them we had to come up with a load because you know how all of like all animals have like a different collective noun, a plural noun word. That's not what I'm called, noun words. You know, like a flock of birds, no, a flock of sheep, also a flock of birds, I guess, and a herd of cows, a pride of lions, a murder of crows, a parliament of owls, trample rhinos, something of apes, but I can't remember what it is. Or was it gorillas? A troop? Something like that. What else do I remember? I don't know. And we had to come up with our own ones as our homework. And the only ones I remember was like a group of butterflies I called a flutter of butterflies, and a group of snakes I just called a sliver of snakes. And then the teacher wrote on my homework assignment, good names. And I wrote it back on them, they're terrible names. I'm just sort of describing what they do. Like we don't call it like a moo of cows or something. Or a bat of sheep. I don't even know why it's called a flock. What the heck's a flock? And why don't we have them for every single animal? So I mean we do, but like a lot of them just share the same ones. Like how many of them are just like a herd or a flock? Oh, I think we had to diagonally dash out and then up, perhaps for that one. Because so many like collective nouns for animals out there, just herd, and it's like, you know, get your own collective noun. Oh god, I didn't dash upwards. I don't know if it's the most consistent way to do it, but it's certainly more consistent than just sort of instinctively doing the jump, which sends me straight into the spikes, which I guess probably there's a much more consistent way of doing it. I just haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, well, like so many of them are just herds. You can't just do that, can you? It's also a nice little trivia, I suppose, tidbit. If ever you're like in a pub quiz and they're just like, oh, what's the male, what's an adult male and what's a female, adult female, sorry, of this animal called, 90% of the time it's going to be bull and sow, not sow, sorry, bull and cow, and the other like 10% of the time is going to be like a boar and a sow or something. Like for some reason, like why are so many animals out there just called bulls? I'm like, wait, how on earth did we do it that one time where we managed to double dash? Because that definitely wasn't going to make it. Maybe we do need to jump. We just got to figure out what. Practice jumping off this. We just jump early. Is that the secret? I think we just jump early off of it to get a little bit of a jump for clouds. But yeah, I can't remember how I did this anymore. Okay. Like 90% of animals, like adult males, are called bull and cow, and I don't know why. I guess it's just like applicable. Because at some point you can't come up with a special one for every single animal. I mean, yeah, I guess you could, but it'd probably make being a zoologist an absolute nightmare. Excuse me. Because you would have like 90% of your knowledge would just be remembering, oh, what's the what's the like the subbreeds of it, not subbreeds, like the subtypes of this animal called. And you know, probably time best spent doing other things related to zoology, like, you know, trying to figure out optimal habitats or something. I don't know. And conservation. Yeah, so just like put down bull. That's not jump early. Jump early. It's so hard because I've got the muscle memory now, jumping late on the clouds to get the maximum boost, and now it's saying, hey, don't do that. You want to jump as early as, not as early as possible, but earlier. And we haven't even got to the hard part yet. I'm pretty sure the hard part's going to be the thing where we had to fall down with spikes, hit the cloud, and then somehow wind our way back up. Because I'm not even sure if that's the correct way to do it. Like, I think we could go low, but I think going low is probably more of a speedrun strategy. Or maybe we have to, I don't know. That's a scary part. Because we're going to do all of this just for a single attempt at that section, and we don't even know if we're going to do it right. We don't even know if we're going to do it in a way that's possible. That's terrifying. Well, it's not terrifying, to be honest. It's actually just, you know, a game in the end, but still. I jumped so early there and it still wasn't enough. Maybe that's how early you got to jump. That's it. You know, you go hit, jump. Hit, jump. Okay, hit, jump. That's what we're going for now. You got about half a second respite as you land upon a fluffy cloud taken straight out of Katy Perry's California Girls album cover. Or maybe it's just cotton candy. You know, I don't know why I dashed there, to be honest. Cotton candy's got so many different names around the world, you know. It's called cotton candy here. It's called candy floss in America. It's called fairy floss in Australia. Oh, it's some parts of Australia, I believe. It's called... I forgot. And it's called like Papa's beard or something in France. Which, you know... certainly a strange name. But I'm sure some of our names translated into... in English is also very weird. Like, why do we call a crane fly daddy long legs? Don't know. Like, couldn't we just call it a long leg spider? Even though it's not a spider, it's a fly. Although it's actually a spider in other parts of the world, you know? There's like 4 different daddy long legs. Like, it's different in America from UK, and it's also different in Australia. And Australia is actually like a very dangerous spider or something. Probably unsurprisingly, Australia does have quite a few of those, don't they? But here in the UK, it's just a harmless little crane fly. Doesn't really do much except for just sort of dashes around like crazy. And it does have, to be fair, very long legs. It's also a flower. Just what you want to know. I feel like there's you can go low underneath those spikes there. That's probably a shortcut, isn't it? Or maybe was that just a cloud? I couldn't tell if it was a gap in the spikes or if it's just like foreground clouds blocking it. But it looked like there's ooh. A little bit of a speedrun shortcut, which obviously I'm not going to even try. And yeah, it looks like you could definitely go underneath there. Should we try it? Just sort of say, how would you even do that though? Is my question. It's a suspicious gap, isn't it? I don't know how you would do it, but I'm certain there's got to be a way. I feel like I'm regressing. I feel like I'm not doing any better. And that's a dangerous mindset, because once you got yourself in that mindset, you're just like, oh no, I'm getting worse and worse, and then you'll never improve. You got to keep at it. You got to be like, yeah, I'm slowly getting better. I'm getting more practice. I'm getting more consistent. Something. And then with that comes the confidence. With that comes your time to shine. I think we can go underneath there. That wasn't quite how I imagined it to go. I'd imagined our wall kick giving us a lot more like room, a lot more distance, and actually sent us flying. I did not expect that we'd actually go underneath that horizontal block of spikes, but it seems like we do. Which suggests to me that we are actually meant to go over them, which is a weird part, because it seems like a pretty difficult thing to get over it with Bennett Foddy. No, that's difficult. I think we do have to go over and then double dash. But to get that curve, like I'm sure you can go under, but to me, I feel I can feel it in my bones that it's going to be more consistent trying to go over than trying to go under. And this is what you need. You need consistency to try and get as many attempts at the final section as possible. So you do consistency all the way up until you get to a final section, then you can do risky if you want, because you only need to beat it once, as I say. It's a game of probabilities. That's what everything is if you really think about it. You know, Celeste... Oops. Needed to jump earlier there. Celeste actually a gacha game. You know, you're just instead of doing pools for like anime girls or whatever, you're trying to do pools for Celeste runs. I don't know, this analogy doesn't make any sense. I don't know where on earth I was going with this. Honestly, who knows where anyone's going with anything. Now, before you go whoa deep, it's not actually that deep. You know, there's a lot of people out there who do know what they're doing. Hopefully, you know, you hope the person who runs like your local like water filtration system or something, or sewage treatment plant, or like who runs your local power grid. Hopefully, they know what they're doing. And if they don't, then you know, well, I guess there's not really much you can do about it unless you are them. / also work there. In which case, props to you. But you know. Please figure out what you're doing soon. The entire human civilization is rather reliant on these built-in infrastructures which we have supported ourselves with for quite a few years now. It's okay, I have faith and trust in those engineers. Okay, nice. Jump earlier. We can't even let it sag a little bit. It can't even react to our presence. I'm practicing the cloud jump here. It cannot even know. We've got to be gone before it even registers in that little cloud's mind. What just hit it? Because it's been hit by Brown. You've been hit by Brown. Smooth criminal. Have you seen that video of like Smooth Criminal, but like every other beat is missing or whatever? It's very strange. It's that sort of like uncanny valley feeling when you hear something which you know, but also like why does it sound so different? It's amazing that people, just for a joke, are willing to spend the time to stitch together these very strange edits of songs and things like that. Oh, I think we have to be able to curve around enough to dash vertically upwards and then diagonally, because otherwise I don't think we're making it over those spikes, to be perfectly honest. I could be wrong. We might be able to do a quick diagonal dash outwards into a quick diagonal dash inwards, so backwards and forwards, and I might be able to make it, but that feels iffy at best. It's amazingly how close we got to touching that wall of spikes every so often. Oh, never mind. Oh, that's a double dash. That's a double dash. I don't know what on earth I did better, but turns out you can definitely make it over the top of that with just one single dash. So we see, we are improving. Sometimes improvement is in very little minuscule steps which you might not ever notice. Until you walk the entire distance and you look back and you've seen how far you've come. How many footprints are in the sand behind you? And then you turn to Jesus and say, how does this old like story go? Even something, why have you said you'd always be beside me, but why are there only one set of footprints in the sand? And then it's just like, oh, Jesus was carrying you this entire time. I think it was Jesus, it might not be Jesus, maybe it's one of those Aesop fable things. I honestly cannot recall. Footprints in the sand. Look it up, along with I don't know, I can't think of any others right now. Oh, that's not how you do it. You know what, if we fail our jump upwards, we should probably just go try and hit the lower path instead, because we need that full jump. We need to basically be able to dash vertically upwards and be clear of the spikes, otherwise we're not going to make it. But if we fail a jump upwards, you still got another try if we save our dashes to do a dash underneath the Finks. Don't know if that will work or not. And that is something yet to have been found out. That's a new one. Hitting your head on there. Have I told you about the story I got hit on the head with a bowling ball once? It's a wild story. A birthday party at a bowling alley. I was very young, mind you. I was like 3 or something. Maybe not 3, that seemed maybe like 6. And I was just, for some reason, my parents probably just like, you know, for a mild lapse in judgment, I forgot to jump early. I was sitting by the bowling ball dispenser. And the story's not going to go where you think it goes. I did not stick my head in that bowling ball dispenser and get hit by a bowling ball as it came out. No, I was just, I can't remember, I was reading like the sticker on the side of it or something, like the danger thing, as one of my sister's friends like went up to do her bowl, I suppose, you know, take a shot at the 10 pins down the alley. And on her backswing, she swung backwards and smacked me in the head with a bowling ball. And funnily enough, I don't remember it hurting that much. I just remember everyone's reactions being like, oh no, I got something. The air was tense, and I remember feeling rather dazed, unsurprisingly. I mean, I did just get hit in the head with a bowling ball. But otherwise, I felt fine, and then I just started crying. But maybe that's just like me, my brain is sort of just like trying to block out those memories, being like, oh, you know, it was actually really painful, but I can't recall. I don't know. Either way, I was 6, so I don't really remember all that well, apart from... There's no need to be greedy on that and saving a second dash, because we're going to get a dash again when we hit the clouds. So yeah, that's the story of how I got hit in my head with a bowling ball. Luckily, it wasn't too hard. It wasn't like in the cartoons where a bowling ball like falls from the 5th story or anything like that. I mean, there's no reason to be greedy with a second dash, but make sure your second dash is actually needed. It's not a very fun story, to be honest. There was no, like, catchy punchline or something. I don't have someone who really ties it up together. It just sort of happened, I suppose. It was just a complete accident. Oh, almost. Almost. I think I pulled forward a bit too quickly, which meant I air strafed straight into the spikes. Which is, gotta be honest, inadvisable, to say the very least. It is not advised and not welcomed. Nice. Yeah, I don't know, it's been a bit of a stitched together storytelling time in Celeste, hasn't it? You can tell I'm quite a bit more, I'm just sort of vibing. That's what I'm really going for. Isn't that what we're all really going for? Just a little bit of good vibes? Good vibrations? How does that, stop, I'll say Beastie Boys, that's not right. Beach Boys song goes. Turn that down slightly. I'm trying to think what Beach Boys songs I even know. I know, wouldn't it be nice to live forever? Something like that. I don't actually know if those are the lyrics, but still. I never have a song about good vibrations. It's really hard to judge if a vertical dash is going to hit the spikes or not. We need to swerve more in the air. We need to Tokyo drift our way out. But I was losing vertical height, so I forgot, a little bit pressured. To go for the dash just then. How does the good vibrations go? I feel like I should know it. But I can't remember off the top of my head. I can only think of, wouldn't it be nice? Oh, maybe it goes, wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Is that how the lyrics go? Wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Don't know. Obviously Beach Boys, a little bit before my time, shall we say. You might be watching and be like, oh, you know, I used to jam out to the Beach Boys when I was a teen. Honestly, awesome. Whoever used to jam out to as a teen, rock on, as they say. Even if it wasn't necessarily rock. You can continue jamming out to them. Don't let me stop you. I wasn't really planning on stopping you, to be honest, but just in case you thought I was, in case you thought I was going to be like, no one is allowed to listen to Beach Boys from now on. just like do your own thing, you know? Like what you like, listen to what you listen to. Who am I to judge? I knew I wasn't going to make it with a vertical dash, but I don't know, maybe we should try at least once to go underneath, I think. Because it may actually just be like significantly easier. Okay, so let's get one more good attempt in. And then we'll round off this episode here. Could this be it? The good attempt? The fabled good attempt of legends. Oh gosh, okay, that is pretty difficult. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Celeste, I've been Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Darling Discord and follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.